safety, remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the rocket and watch your children. You are clear for launch.
The first day I did work there, though, I don't know if I ever told you this traumatizing story. My first day on stage, I had a guy come up to me, and it was a guest at the park, and he said, "Hey, I've been going around just trying to, I really want to get in the park, but I'm $10 short of a ticket." I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." Okay. He's like, "Yeah, I just got done auditioning. This is my 12th time in the last 6 months auditioning for a character." And then he just starts singing like really loud out of nowhere. And I'm like looking around. I'm like, I need an adult. Somebody help. Then he pulls out a bag of candy. He's got a whole bunch like Halloween candy. And he goes,
so you're just like, stranger danger, stranger danger.
He goes, "Do you want one?" I'm like, "No, thank you. I can't accept gifts." There is a rule at Disney. You cannot accept tips and you cannot accept gifts. But you have to say no 3 times. And if they insist, then you can take it.
So you're like, no. I'll have one. Thank you.
Sometimes I would do that for some things. I'd be like, no. Okay, thanks. But, yeah. And I just kept no, please. Like, I'm serious. And he just wouldn't let up. And he's like, "Yeah, I tried making friends with security. They don't want to be friends with me, so they don't want to assign me into the park." And I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." And then he starts singing again. And then he goes, "But we're friends, right?" I'm like, "No, we're not friends." And I just walked away and I went into one of the booths, and I had this kizzy. He put the candy like in my hand, and I didn't know what to do. And I just ran away, and I went into the booth, and my supervisor saw the whole thing from inside the booth, and she comes up to me and she slaps that candy out of my hand so fast. She's like, "Don't you eat that." And I was like, "Do I look like somebody that would eat?" And I had to think about it. I'm like, "Okay, fine. I'm not going to finish that." And that was my first day.
That is amazing. Okay. Here's one. Here's a good one. If you shout "Andy's coming" around any of the Toy Story characters, they will fall to the ground and pretend like they're toys.
You are a toy! You weren't the real Buzz Lightyear. You're an action figure. You are a child's plaything.
I think that was a truth at one point, but not anymore. I think it got out of hand. Because if you think about it, like how heavy those heads are.
Yeah, I can't
and
even
just
imagine.
Falling down. I think if the character, or if I don't know, another character in that movie, it's human. I don't think there is. I don't know. I've never seen it, and I've seen pictures of it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture right now of Jesse and Woody laying on the ground, and so that they would do it. But yeah, it was one of those things where like when it happened once or twice a day, it was a fun thing. But then it like got spread on Instagram, and then it was like every 5 seconds, everybody was like, "Andy's coming."
I think now what they would do instead of falling is they probably just go limp, like my penis, every time you talk.
So no matter what happens at a Disney park, the characters are not allowed to break character. True or false?
No, never for any situation.
I bet they have some crazy stories, the people that walk around as characters.
I've heard some. I think it was one of the Cinderella. Yeah, it was Cinderella. So I got to talk to the face characters backstage, like when you're waiting for your food and stuff.
Whoa, you just said something. What's a face character?
A face character is like one of the princesses or somebody that is not wearing a mask or is not. You can be a face character for a parade, but like somebody who interacts with guests at the park. They're a face character.
So are there multiple Snow Whites and multiple Cinderellas?
Technically, if I was still a cast member, I would have to say, no, there's only one. But yes, you have shifts. But you won't ever see 2 of them working at the same time in the parks at different locations or anything like that.
So is it true that there are underground tunnels to prevent things like that from happening so that you never see 2 cast members, or you never see... I've heard even when you go on your break, you have to go into the tunnel to like go to the cafeteria. You can't walk through the park as an employee.
you can walk through the park as an employee. I did it many times.
Damn it. I wanted to know about the secret tunnels.
So they're not tunnels, but there are, like, there's hallways and, there's offices and storage facilities it is underground, or like I don't know, you go through glass doors and you go down like 2 flights and then it just looks like you're in a building, but they're not tunnels. I mean, there's tunnels for like trucks.
So you're saying they're not tunnels, they're underground facilities.
They're underground hallways, but it
That's a tunnel.
It does cut your time, like when you're going from one side to the other. It really does. But
you had access to that underground facility?
Yeah, everybody did.
Awesome.
But there's a part. It was my.
Did you go down elevators or stairs?
It took way too long. I went downstairs. I'm not gonna wait for a fucking elevator when I've got 3 minutes to clock in. I'm like booking it. I'm running. No, there was a hallway though that was super fucking cool, and they're very strict about videotaping and taking pictures, and it was just memorabilia from like all kinds of pictures from opening day all the way until the present. And I saw pictures of Steve Martin when he worked there. So like,
no way, Steve Martin worked there?
Yeah, he did. He was a popcorn vendor.
No way.
Yeah, at Disneyland.
That's
I
awesome.
actually saw Cindy, the girl that I told you about that was there since opening day in the same position.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of her and boy, she was a lot younger. And I saw a picture of her and I wanted to take a picture on my phone and go show her, but I couldn't. So I ended up finding, I was like, hey, I saw your picture in that hallway. And she's like, oh, this little old me. Like it was no big deal. And I'm like, that's a huge fucking deal. So yeah, there's kind of tunnels.
So did you sit in the cafeteria and like talk trash with the face characters? Like Cinderella's just down there like smoking as fast as she can.
There are specific smoke areas though.
Are the characters probably aren't allowed to smoke, right? Because if they smelled like smoke, you'd be like, Captain Hook smelled like weed.
I've never, and this is why I always like just shake my head when people are like, I was going around a corner and I saw backstage and I saw Jasmine smoking a cig back there. I'm like, no, you fucking didn't, because all the characters have their own special area when they're getting ready. Like they don't want to venture too far out, but it's usually next to like a cafeteria or there's food. There were food trucks back there and I would sometimes go to the food truck and then get diarrhea afterward.
Well, that's par for the course for you though. That has nothing to do with the Disney food truck.
But you had a whole bunch of areas to eat, like to choose from. You could choose, for me, I could choose what park. And it just all depended on how fast I could get there. But you have Subway back there. You have Pizza Hut, your own Starbucks. You have, there was a whole bank back there.
Wow.
So you have like restaurants and stuff you can eat at. And then there's like what was it called? Just the main cafeteria that kind of.
But if you want, you could go out into the park on your lunch break. Could you like catch a ride and then maybe grab a churro?
No. The rule, no, you couldn't ride any attractions or purchase anything while you're in costume in the park. Right. If you wanted to do that, you had to go change and then you could do it. But you
could just go and clock out and change your clothes and go right into the park and just party the rest of your Saturday away. Yeah,
sometimes like I would be too lazy and I'm like, I'm not fucking changing. And I just put like sweatpants over my pants and wear a sweater over my shirt. And then I just go hang out.
Nice.
They're like, yeah, I got a couple hours to kill before I get picked up. Why not? But no, I did get to talk with some of the face characters. And it was a girl that played Cinderella. And she would tell me, like, they have tricks and tips that they would do. Like, a lot of the time it's sexual harassment that they have to like.
I can imagine because those girls are sexy. For sure. You know, like I see Ariel with her little like shell bikini and I would get turned on, you know, like, and I know there's a lot of pigs in the world that would just like before the Me Too movement, you know, when it was still okay to look and grab titties.
Grab titties.
You'd be like, I'm going to go grab Snow White's titty.
If all the princesses had Twitter, they would hashtag Me Too.
Just offended more British people.
I'm going to go grab Snow White's titty. I'm going to go yanking knickers down and see if I can get a touch on her bum bum.
God damn it. Well, there's a cool trick that she told me, and it was she's like, it's usually dads that do this when they're wanting to get a picture with me, but they'll put their arm around her waist and they'll just slip the hand, down to the butt. And so what they would do is they would take their hand and then they would spin as if the dad was spinning them, twirling them, and they would find ways to just maneuver away from it, but still be in character. And I'm like, oh shit, that's clever. I do that to this day in everyday life. I just start twirling like a princess when someone tries to grab my ass.
When someone just like sticks their hand down the front of your pants and you're like, I'm twirling.
To be honest with you, you'd be like very shocked. The brazen things people do.
I've been proposed to many a times. People have attempted to kiss me, both male and female.
Please don't be a creep when you go meet the princesses. They are people too, and most of them are married, so just like avoid that.
The children, they'll pull the petals down, and of course that reveals Tiana's, extra beignets.
Don't try to kiss them. Don't be too handsy.
Princesses do give out kisses sometimes to little boys and girls. Big boys and girls, no, they do not. So just don't ask.
So we get it all the time. The daddies will come up and they'd be like, Princess Tiana is fine. And then Tiana would be like, all right over here, sir. Don't be touching my beignets.
If you inappropriately touch any of the characters, you will be arrested. If you inappropriately make a comment, you will be kicked out of the park.
You get cornered in a bathroom at work and you're like, I'm twirling. You're trying to like duck down and like get away from them.
I'm like, I'm panicking, I'm twirling, I'm panicking. Is it working? Have I escaped you?
I feel horrible for women in general that they have to deal with that ever. I mean, that's horrible. Men don't realize how horrible they are.
I will say, living in Sioux City, I don't think I've ever been catcalled out here or inappropriately touched while I've been out. But I'll tell you what, living in LA, I pushed a man over on his bike and walked around him. And I was like making kissy noises at him like, how do you like it, little bitch?
You actually have a song about that moment, don't you?
I do, yeah. It's a true story. Like, this guy was riding a bike and I was walking home on the sidewalk and he's like riding his bike around me in circles and making kissing noises. And I have my headphones in, but like I never listened to music while I was walking. It was just so people would not talk to me. And
nice,
I don't think
nice Alicia tip there.
And I don't
all you ladies out there.
I don't think he knew I could hear him, and it just pissed me off. And I was just like, do 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 do. And he came back around. I was like, now's my chance. And I just fucking shoved the shit out of him, knocked him over. He was so shocked. Like, he was like, oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I started kissing at him, and I was just like, oh, how do you like it? How do you like it? And then he rode away.
You pulled your dick out and just started slapping him in the forehead with it, and you're just like, how do you like the mushroom tip now, bitch?
I did have the biggest adrenaline rush, though, while doing that. I was like,
I'm a man, baby.
My armpits were super sweaty after that.
You're like, oh my God, I just pushed somebody over. All right, Alicia, this is a big one. Is Walt Disney's... That's not the first time you've heard that, is it, Alicia? Is Walt Disney's head cryogenically frozen in Disneyland?
I cannot confirm nor deny.
Welcome back, Mr. Disney.
Are the Jews gone yet?
No.
Put me back in.
I want to say no, but also that's kind of a little conspiracy theory that really wouldn't shock me if I came across it.
I don't think it's in Disneyland, but there's a cryogenic, like one of the biggest cryogenic like freezing things in the world is here in Phoenix. And people say that Walt Disney is frozen in Phoenix.
I heard rumors that Walt Disney was heavily like interested in that kind of science. Yeah,
he was. And at the time, it was probably in its infancy. And I find it weird that he would have just his head frozen.
I mean, I would at least have my head and my dick and balls.
Right. Like, I'd be like, put my dick and balls in this huge cup, and then we'll put my head in this little one. And then, and yeah, no, if I was going to get frozen, I'd have my whole thing frozen. Because I believe more that they could like cure cancer later and wake me up than that they can like sew a new body onto my head.
You know how I picture Walt Disney cryogenically frozen? As Mike Myers and Austin Powers. when his mojo is stolen.
Totally.
And I feel like one of these days where it's going to hit the news and it's going to be a picture and it's going to look exactly like
Glasses
Harry
are
Myers.
all up, frozen. Walt Disney gets cryogenically frozen. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Man, that's got to be painful. Like, imagine the brain freeze you have after that, like when you're defrosting.
Seriously. Like...
Good joke. Thanks. Pat myself on the back for that one.
I'd be more worried about shrinkage.
I'd be worried about like how fucking hungry I would be. Like, I feel like I could never.
Well, if you're just a head, you wouldn't be hungry.
Shut up.
You'd be like those floating heads in Futurama.
Well, that's stupid.
Are you picking your nose on the podcast? Like, I can see you.
No, I pull at my septum because I'm nasally.
That's weird too.
All right, I got Twilight #2 to watch.
Did you know that Walt Disney killed his parents on accident? Sorry, his mother. He killed his mother.
I don't think I knew that.
He bought her a house and
they killed her in
North Hollywood.
Accidentally.
And shortly after she moved in, a leaking gas furnace killed Flora Callie Disney.
So
Flora called Disney.
I don't think he killed her. I think the house and the leak killed her.
But he just bought that house. He bought the kill house.
But did he take an insurance policy out on her? Or?
Probably. All right, so that's the end of the online Disney ones. But I actually know a couple things that are real about Disneyland.
Yeah, I was very confident.
No. Like, I have a source really high up in Disney.
I swear to God, if you say it's a flip.
No,
because he worked there as Jack Sparrow.
This one, some crazy dude came up to me. I was taking, there's the picture of Walt holding Mickey's hand in the middle of the park.
It's called the partner statue.
The partner statue, right? Yeah. So I'm taking a picture in front of it, and this dude in like a fat guy in a Hawaiian shirt comes up to me and goes, "Did you know if you look at the statue from the side, it looks like Walt's got a boner and he's holding it?" And I feel like I went around. I'm like, no fucking way. I went around to the side of the statue, and sure as shit, Mickey's nose is Walt's boner, and it comes right out of the place of the wiener.
Was this fat guy in a Hawaiian shirt the guy from Jurassic Park?
It was Dennis Neardry, and he was like, I was like, I'm claiming that for myself, and he goes,
I feel like if you look at anything though from the side,
no.
With
okay,
the boner.
I have a picture of this, and I will post it on Instagram. If you see that statue from the side, Walt Disney, it has a boner, and it's Mickey's nose.
I'm gonna go grab that Disney box real quick. I have some fun things to show you. Can I do that? All right. I do. What I really wanted to show you though is this is my first Disney ID.
No. Oh man, you look like a poodle.
I know. I don't know what was wrong with me. And then this is my second one that looks a little bit more normal.
A little bit. Every picture of you that I've ever seen looks like a different person.
I know. I don't know why.
There's a myth that a bunch of cats live at Disneyland. Did you see a bunch of cats living there?
Yes, that is true, actually. I'll tell you the story about that. Walt Disney is afraid of mice, or was afraid of mice. Ironic.
He created Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
Says you.
He was afraid of mice, so he wanted a way to control the mice population, because with all like the popcorn and the snacks being thrown on the ground, there was a lot of mice. So he ended up getting a bunch of feral cats, and at night they would go throughout the parks and they would take care of the rat problem. But because there was so many, it's still like a thing that there's still cats remaining, and they come out at night usually, but sometimes you'll see them during the day. I saw a huge ass like Maine Coon cat, and you can probably almost guaranteed you can always see one by it's in California Adventure, and it's over by Grizzly Bear Rapids. Right as if you're going into the park, and you take a right and you go past Soaring Over the World now. It used to be Soaring Over California. And you go up to like that aviation roadway, and you'll see it right there in that same, like, it's like trees and brush and needles on the ground, like the pine needles on the ground and everything. There's usually always one of those cats just chilling over there like, sup.
Who feeds these cats?
They feed themselves.
There's that many rats in Disneyland?
Probably. But I think there's some caretakers that probably take care of them.
What about the piped in smells throughout Disneyland? Can you confirm or deny this?
Oh, absolutely confirm. Yeah. Down Main Street, they do pump out smells of from the candy shop, the ice cream shops, and like if they're baking cookies, just about everywhere you can smell food. It's great.
So it's just food though, but do they pump out like smells? Because like going to Disneyland, like there are amazing smells that only happen at Disneyland. Like the fake rocks have a certain smell, you know, and like when they're wet, they have an even cooler smell.
I think the only other thing besides food that they would pump out for the smell is like the restrooms. So like always know where a restroom's at.
Did you? I was like, so I took you so seriously for a second, and then I was like, oh, I see what you did there.
It was my favorite place to crop dust. You can get it doesn't matter where you're at. You can be like standing like 2 inches in front of somebody and you crop dust, and it could be anybody.
There's nothing worse than being in a line and then some shitty tourist cuts the cheese and just leaves you in it.
I was always that shitty tourist. Like I would fart so much, like on everybody. That's usually on a lot of like really small kids where their face comes right up to your butt.
And they just keep bumping into you or bumping that balloon into you, that Mickey shaped balloon, and you're just like, you know what? You're gonna eat a pile of my ass right now.
Yeah, not like as pedophile as you said it, but yeah.
All right, let's see. So there are hidden Mickeys inside of Pirates of the Caribbean. Can you tell us where those are located?
I know of 2 on that attraction. One is when you're going through, is it Port Royal? And they are bombing like the wall. If you, right as you you can only see it when you're turning at a certain angle, and it's a hole from the cannons in the wall, and it's actually in the shape of a hidden Mickey. Yeah. And then there's one near the end on is it a cuirass of armor that's on the wall? In the center, there's a hidden Mickey on the emblem. It's a clear Mickey.
Right. There's a crazy one that was like the lights that you pointed out to me.
Oh, that's not a hidden Mickey. That's actually on Indiana Jones. If it's in the room with the video, the projector. Yeah. So that was actually built over Dumbo parking lot. And if you ask the cast member that is usually right there. Now, this is what's dumb, is that they're always supposed to carry a flashlight for Indiana Jones. It's part of their costume. And you're supposed to ask them, hey, can you show me Dumbo? And you can only see it with a flashlight. And they point it up at the ceiling all the way past the projector, and you could see the parking lot sign for Dumbo. And every time almost every time I've tried it, like when I bring my friends and family, I'm like, hey, you want to see something cool? Watch this. And they're like, oh, I don't have a flashlight with me right now. I'm like, you just ruined this whole vacation. You single-handedly
go home. Everything. You are obviously not show ready, and that will be a deduction of points.
10 points from Gryffindor.
So here as a question that I've always had, like if you have to wear the dumbest fucking costume, like when you're like at Haunted Mansion. It's the worst, dude. And then the guys that do Splash Mountain too, they have like I think it's the Matterhorn where they have to wear like the little short shorts with the suspenders and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's rough, man. Do those guys, are you just like, if you're a ride operator, are you the Matterhorn ride operator, or do you like switch around rides?
I have a friend that was working when he first started He was working in a Bugs Land, but he switches to like Radiator Springs Racers. He does like a whole bunch of different attractions. So you can work multiple attractions, but you can't obviously wear the same costume. You have to have different.
Obviously. So like you have to like go a change between, like, do you change during shifts, or like you spend a whole day on one?
No, you'll have
attraction?
it'll be that day or those days on that. You don't switch during the day.
I bet they want to kill themselves when they're like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Disneyland. Please keep your arms and legs in at all times. Like, the Jungle Book cruise people seriously seem like they want to cut their throats and fall into the water.
I will say, though, the skippers on Jungle Cruise, some of those, like, that was like a privilege to be a skipper. Like, you had to have comedic timing for everything.
Well, yeah,
like, some of them
like,
don't. And
no.
some of them, like, you can tell they just hate it. And it's like,
some of them want to
lame.
die. And then some of them are like, wow, this guy's killing it.
Yeah. I do remember one of the costumes, my costume would change if I had to work a Halloween party. I liked it because it was for Mickey's Halloween party, which you had to get a separate ticket for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's after the park closes for general admission. And it's just going around trick-or-treating, and they bump like really cool Halloween music throughout the whole park. And then there's the Headless Horseman that leads the Halloween parade. But I had to, and I got to work inside the park, which was pretty cool. But my costume for that was atrocious. I had to wear a skirt, and it was it was like purple, neon green, and neon yellow. And it was like bats everywhere. I had to wear a headband that had bats. Like, it was a purple headband with bats. Can't tell you how many times I've left that in a storage thing in Frontierland. I lost it like 3 times. It sucked. And I had to go find it because I had to return it after I was done, or else they like charge you for it. And but then I had to wear I had to wear like an apron. And it was all Halloween themed, so like bat print everywhere and pumpkins.
Did they ever tell you horrible woman things like you need to shave your legs because you have to wear a skirt for this costume?
No, I just wore tights because I don't like shaving my legs.
Well, yeah, we all know that.
I have to. The hair hurts when it rubs against my pants.
So a crazy thing too is, speaking of badges and buttons, is that the one time I came out to California and you got me into Disneyland, it was like a week away from my birthday. But you made everybody in my party wear Jason's birthday pins, and every single cast member that walked by had to wish me a happy birthday.
You don't have to, but it's highly encouraged. It's part of the magic.
Yeah, it was magic after about the 400th time. And at first I was like, it's not even my birthday.
You told me it was your birthday.
I told you I was coming out for my birthday, but it wasn't actually my birthday.
So?
But I still have my birthday pen from when we went to.
Bullshit. I have your birthday pen.
What? No, you don't. I have it.
Do you think I'm lying?
Oh, God damn it.
I do have it. I don't get rid of my
birthday pen. You stole my birthday pin, you bitch.
No, you left it at my apartment.
That sounds shady.
I think I have a few of them. I think your whole family, too. This is when Lauren, I think, was pregnant with Sonia, right?
Yes. And she couldn't go on Splash Mountain, and oh my God, was she mad? Because we had a fast pass for Splash Mountain that we got her, and then she couldn't go on it. And then she was like, well, I'm just going to go on it anyway, because what's it going to do to the baby? And then me and Cliff got on it without her, and it was our first, like, there was almost 2 Christmases. After this podcast, though, you for sure are never going to get hired back there again. You've given up way too many secrets that you weren't supposed to.
No, I think this is a lot of people. I mean, you found most of this shit online anyway.
I can't believe that they don't have you sign like a non-disclosure agreement. Yeah, that you can't talk about all this stuff.
You kind of do while you're working there,
right?
But last time I checked, I work for Ray's Midbell Music, not Disneyland. So.
But I am pretty sure that Disneyland is the reason that you work for Ray Bell's music, because
Ray Bell music.
Whatever you said, I don't know.
I love it. That is something on my resume that I will say. Really
every job you go
hired.
into, they're like, "Oh, you worked at Disneyland. Tell us."
Everybody assumes that I was a princess, and they always ask, like, "What princess were you?" I'm like, "Thank you, but
please tell me you just lie and just like make one up." Like, actually, I was Peter Pan.
Yeah, like, Hook. I was the Hook, not him. I was just his hook.
You could never see me. I was Eeyore's ass, but I was there.
Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to go back to Disneyland, but I think this year I will be going to Disney World for the first time.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Are you going to see Epcot?
I am, yeah. Actually, James' mom, because she wants to go on a Disney cruise, and I totally invited myself.
I don't know. The Disney cruise, like, I can't lie. It looks like an amazing time. I see, like, Carnival cruises, and I'm like, I don't really drink. I don't really like dancing. I've been on a water slide before, and I've climbed a rock wall.
But I will sit in a Disney-shaped jacuzzi. I'm just afraid that's the day I'm going to shit my pants in the jacuzzi.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you're going to shit on a Disney cruise where you're just eating, like, unlimited Mickey bars and stuff. And just as much freaking pina coladas as you can handle. Yeah, you're going to lose bowel control in the Mickey jacuzzi.
It's all just going to turn frothy and cook inside. I'm looking forward to it, honestly. It's going to be a good time.
It should be a good time, but you can always rinse your ass off in Tinkerbell's bidet.
That's if you pay for first class.
Yeah, that is first class. You probably have Piglet's pink toilet paper is all you get.
I do. I am really excited, though, because I remember taking James to Disneyland, and I was so excited to show him everything and all the cool little, I was his little tour guide, and he was so unimpressed. And he was like, yeah, it's all right. And I'm like, so what the fuck's your problem? Why don't you like it? He's like, I've been to Disney World almost every year of my life, so. And I was like, what's so great about Disney World? That's stupid. And he's like, it's huge. I was like, my dick's huge. If you don't shut up, I'll give you a taste. And yeah, I'm excited to compare both worlds.
Well, I'll never be able to go to Disneyland again because I can't afford to take my family of 4.
And because this podcast will have you banned.
This podcast, I'm probably going to be on Disney's radar after this. And so I'm going to have to watch out. I'm going to have Disney trained snipers at my door at all times.
Yeah, that is fact. I can confirm.
I would love nothing more than just to have a knock on the door and you open the door and it's just Goofy in a black suit with sunglasses on and he just fucking karate kicks your face. And he's like, stay down, bitch. Don't get up. I don't want to kick you again.
And then Mickey just slides around the corner cracking his knuckles. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh, boy. I will slit your throat and pull your goddamn tongue through it. That's called an Italian necktie.
You were hovering on the edge of being banned. You are for sure banned. And if you aren't, I got friends. You guys need to post this picture. He is a terrorist.
Alicia, I think that's your next song. I was banned from Disneyland.
If you ever feel low, you can never feel as low as how you feel when you're banned from Disney.
Went down Splash Mountain and pulled my cock out.
I showed a little nipple, then got kicked out.
I ate a girl's ass on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I ate so much ass that Pinocchio died.
I have to now.
Yeah, that's your next hit song for sure. Oh. And you are welcome.
Man, I can't wait to go finish watching this Twilight #2 movie. Don't spoil it for me.
I won't ruin the ending. I won't tell you if it's Team Edward or Team Jacob who wins.
I can't wait to see more sparkling. And
I think you should open up your own Twilight themed theme park. 20 years too late.
Just in my house.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
They're like, 20 minutes for this ride? What?
Come on, in 20 minutes the werewolf transformation experience starts, and it's just you in the bathroom shaving your legs.
I just come out with like a whole bunch of hair taped to me, like,
I'm a werewolf. All right, we gotta wrap this thing up. Alicia,
That's
Mary fuck kill. Eeyore, Captain Hook, Buzz Lightyear.
Marry Buzz Lightyear, because you always have a future with him. Fuck Hook, because he's got a hook. Have you seen the shape of that? And
well, he can
Eeyore,
unhook it and he can put other things on there. So
that's a good reason also. And you got to kill Eeyore because he's always just harsh and my mellow, man.
Thanks for noticing me. I'm going to slit your throat, Eeyore.
Wait, now you got to answer it too.
Why? Give me a different one.
Oh, all right. I got a good one. Fuck, marry, kill. Jasmine, Rapunzel, and Cruella de Vil.
Oh, that's easy. I'm gonna fuck Rapunzel. And because I've always wanted to be able to wrap a chick's hair around my butt while she sucks on my jaunts.
I thought you were gonna say so she could like just choke you with her hair.
That would be hot too. Like she's like choking me with hair. We could do all kinds of fun sex stuff with hair. Like
you could just use like you can make your own swing set.
Yeah, I could just like naked swing into her and stuff. I'd be like, here I come. Wah!
Exactly like that.
Yeah, it'd be good stuff, you know. And then I would definitely marry Jasmine because she's got hella rich money. And
she's got a daddy for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that I could take Aladdin too. He's not that tough.
He's a scrawny guy.
Yeah, he's like, Prince Ali's gotta go pee. Where is the bathroom? And I'm like, dude, get out of here.
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah. I show you. You better wish that I don't punk your ass. Because I just fuck Jasmine.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
Yeah, I ain't never had a friend like me, and just shaking, like wagging my dick in a row. Call that the helicopter move. And then, Cruella de Vil doesn't like dogs, so fuck that bitch. I'm gonna kill her.
So fuck that bitch. That ain't bad.
One of the things that is amazing that's gonna happen, and you probably don't even know this is the first announcement of it. We are getting a website. That's right. Talking Poop website, talkingpooppodcast.com will be online soon. And it is amazing. And we're going to be posting all kinds of amazing personal and behind the scenes content of Alicia.
So did you start a GoFundMe to afford such a webpage?
No, my amazing cousin is a webpage creator, and he is starting up his own business, and he is at his stuff is at Mick Rose Creations, and he did our logo, and he does a whole bunch of really good work, really professional work. He actually sent out his blog at Christmas time, and it's like all this professional stuff. And then at the bottom, it's like, oh, and we built Talking Poop's website. I was like, oh, dude, I'm sorry you know me. Like, that's so sad for you. But he asked me first if I wanted to buy a website, and I told him that I was a poor trash person. And that I could not afford a website at this current time in my life. And he purchased it for me for a year and built it and made it amazing looking and then gave it to me as a Christmas present. So
did he have to come in your mouth, or was he okay with like on the chest?
Look.
Or belly?
I left it up to him because it was obviously his day. And, And I said, look, dude, you go where you want to go.
And I'll be right here, just waiting.
I'm just going to be in front of it.
Whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you.
We'll play balls on chin. I'm gonna be in your butthole. That was a beautiful duet we just did.
Well, I'm excited for the website.
The website's going to be
cool.
Yeah, it's going to be baller, and we're going to be able to have all kinds of extra stuff on there.
Do I get access to the website so I can also just post stuff anytime I want?
You actually have your whole area in the thing. You just click on the trash can. And
oh, please say that's true.
You go to Alicia's Garbage Corner, and you can read Alicia's blog. And
no,
you can
call
see
it
all
Alicia's
her
dump truck.
She's going, dumps like a truck.
First thing, it's going to be like when MySpace was still like a huge thing, and you click a page, and it's got the songs that automatically play, and it's going to be Cisco's Thong Song.
That was so wrong. That was what was worst about MySpace that Facebook fixed. Was like, we're taking away this feature.
Yeah, now they just show you old memories from 2009. You're like, oh, why was I allowed to be online?
Seriously, they're just like, here's a picture of your ex you don't want to see from 5 years ago.
Remember, like, when everybody was starting to get on Facebook, and you would update your status in the third person? That's the one thing that, like, what the fuck was wrong with me? Because it'd be like, Alicia is eating a bowl of cereal right now.
Alicia thinks Taco Bell's the bomb.
And then 3 hours later, Alicia's releasing said bomb.
Alicia's got diarrhea from her Taco Bell.
This is a great podcast.
It's a great podcast.
A lot of content.
It was a lot of content, but you know what? That's what we're doing for the people in 2019. We're just filling them with content.
We've heard you.
We've heard your requests, and we are saying bend over and get ready to take talking poop in the rear.
But I spit first. Like, I'm nice about it, so don't worry. Just don't tense up. Just let it in.
Alicia's always been the most tender of rapists. Mm-hmm. And she always says thank you afterwards, which is really nice when you're left on the shower floor crying.
I guess I could be Jason about it and just leave a note with a bottle of water and a cookie.
That is an inside joke. But it also cut to the bone. How dare you?
If you think I forget things, I never forget things. Oh, I need to make this clear. This was not something that we did.
Oh, yeah. I did not leave the cookie in the water for Alicia.
I just realized how, like, on the outside, how that sounds.
You know what? I think that after a night of drunken lovemaking, I would appreciate a cookie in the water from a stranger that I woke up with.
But weren't you the drunk one, and wasn't she sober?
We had both been imbibing alcoholic beverages. Look, I don't want to get into this story. We are wrapping up this podcast with, join us on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook.
That'll be the next one.
Check us out on PlayStation 4.
Yeah. PlayStation 4 Pro. Bitch, what's
and
up?
Our website will be up and running very soon. We'll let you know what's going on with that.
And don't forget to always have a magical day.
Alicia, thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sending us out with class. As always, this has been Talking Poop. Good day. Stay classy.